Welcome back everyone to the channel. So today's video, we're doing a video specifically on the carbon fiber bucket seats that I have in my G82 M4. These seats are available on the G80 M3 as well. It does come at an additional cost at about $3,900. So the goal for today's video, we're gonna be explaining whether or not these seats are comfortable. Are they worth the price tag? Do they work for a daily driver? And how are they on a long haul ride? Because recently I went on a weekend trip and I spent about 5.5 hours in these seats, and my girlfriend did as well. So you kind of have two perspectives of whether or not these seats are comfortable on long haul rides. So let's jump right into the video. So I think the best way to start this video off is by talking about the looks of these seats compared to the comfort seats. So I did make a video previously on the must-have options for your M4 and M3, so check that out if you haven't already. But I'm gonna go over exactly what I mean by look. So first thing you'll notice when you're opening the door and you're getting into the car is the high bolsters, the carbon fiber right there, and of course the carbon fiber on the back. So what's really nice about these seats is that you have this cool pull strap with the M colors with M stitching right on the back, and then you have the carbon fiber, full carbon fiber back. So it goes all the way from the top all the way to the bottom, and then you have carbon fiber right here as well that focuses, and then on the other side as well. But I think the looks wise, of course, these seats are way better than the comfort seats in terms of looks. And when people are sitting behind you or when people are looking through the window, it has a presence that is just unparalleled compared to the other seats. And the cool thing about it is that it does have pass-throughs, so the people behind you can tickle you or tickle the driver, but these seats just look so beautiful from behind, especially with that pull strap and the carbon fiber, and you just push that down and the seats automatically move, which is really, really cool. The other thing that's great about these seats are the looks in the front. So not only does the back look really cool, the front also looks fantastic. So I do have the, I forget what the color is for this interior, but this basically gives you a two-tone colorway. So you have the white on the sides, and then you have the black as well, black accents here, black over there, and it's just a good mixture of color, and it looks so good, especially with this aventurine red. But what's so cool about these seats in the front also are you do get the logo, M4 logo, which does light up on startup, and I think when you unlock and lock the car, and then you have pass-throughs for if you were to put a racing harness, and then like I said, you do have the pass-throughs over there. But overall, the look of these seats just look so fantastic, so much presence. And the other cool thing is it does have carbon fiber a bit right here. This they call the carbon fiber, holder. It does look cool. The bolsters, the high bolsters look amazing. And the one thing I will say is that they look like roller coaster seats. And that's the one thing my girlfriend says is they just look like you're about to go on a roller coaster, which I think is the perfect look for this car. So now that we've gone over the looks of the seats and we know how amazing they look and how much better they look than the comfort seats, let's talk about functionality of these seats. So I'm sitting in here right now, so I'm already nestled in very, very nicely. But the one tricky thing is getting in and out of these seats. So this bolster right here is the culprit. So it's so high up on both sides of the seat, it basically hugs your leg. So it's very like I can't push my leg like to get out. So in order to get out, you have to hop over the bolster and kind of position your leg through here, and it gets pinched in between here. And this is kind of like the easiest way I found to get out of the car. And then you kind of have to like push yourself against the other bolster to get out. So getting in is the same issue. So let me get back inside. You can't just slide in like a normal seat. So you kind of have to like scooch over the bolster and like push yourself in and then position yourself and get ready to drive. So I think that's the biggest thing in terms of functionality is this bolster, and I worry over time that it's going to be worn out and cause issues with the leather or the suede that's in the seat, because these seats are very well made, very, very high quality, and I worry that getting in and out over this bolster is going to either break it or loosen it or kind of like ruin the material. So that's definitely a functionality issue of these seats. But other than that, it's not really too hard. Like you get used to it eventually, but it still is difficult and you kind of look goofy because you can't like push all the way. And I think that's the biggest con that I found in terms of functionality is the bolster getting in and out. So now that we've talked about the functionality of getting in and out being sort of an issue because of this high bolster, let's talk about the other items with these seats. So the other con I found is the central piece I was talking about, that carbon fiber piece. It gets in the way, especially on long road trips. You're kind of relaxing, sometimes when I am driving, I like to have my legs kind of like together or off to the side because I have active cruise control activated. And this middle piece has become difficult because you can't really do that because it's like a mound in the middle of the seat. It becomes an issue because it's like right there. So that's the other con that I found with these seats, is that central piece. It looks cool, but it gets kind of annoying. The other thing is the back. So the back support actually just kind of pushes out like an archway to connect to the bottom cushion. And I found that without any sort of option to move it around, so there's no adjustment to that piece, it kind of digs into your lower back over time and it gets kind of annoying. So that's kind of my biggest issue, I think, and the biggest con of these seats is that back mound just comes straight down and goes right into your lower back, and you don't have any sort of adjustment. You can adjust the side bolsters, which are really nice because these hug you. I don't mind these side bolsters at all, but it's the back part, just kind of like, it kind of like goes like this and pushes in your lower back and kind of gets annoying. You kind of have to move your seat around to try to get the best position so it doesn't bother you as much, but it does become a little bothersome. And I think the final con of these seats are the bottom seat cushions. I have a bony butt, so to kind of explain that is that when I sit down, the bones of my buttocks just dig right into any cushion. And these cushions don't really have too much padding, I think, and it kind of makes my butt, like the butt bones sore over time. And that's like the only pain that I feel. And it's not really pain, it's just kind of like bothersome and soreness. It would be nice to have more cushion. And I understand as a carbon fiber bucket seat, it's not gonna have as much cushion, but over time it does kind of bother my butt quite a lot. So I think that's the other con in terms of this seat. But other than that, let's jump right into the pros. So the pros of the seat are, one, the bolsters. I know I said it is annoying getting in and out, but the bolsters up here and the bolsters up there basically hug you, like I said before, like a roller coaster seat. So anytime you're driving on back roads or you're on the track or anything, you are not going to be moving at all. And that's like the best thing to have, because when you're driving fast, you want to be in a central spot. You don't want to move around. And I noticed when I was test driving a M3 with the comfort seats, I was sloshing all around, kind of, not too, you know, I'm being a little dramatic, but you just kind of don't feel like you're supported at all. It just kind of feels like you're just there, you're just sitting on a cushion. With these seats, you're being hugged and it just feels amazing and it just feels special. That's the thing. The other pro of these seats is that you feel special when you're driving and you sit in this car, right? So these seats are meant to be like track car seats, and it's amazing that they do have a lot of good comfort and they're also functional. And two, you feel special. And that's the thing about like these cars, like an M4 and M3, like a brand new one. You want to feel special when you're driving it, and being able to sit in a seat that makes you feel that way is perfect. And it makes me think that yes, it is worth the money because you feel special when you're in a special car. The other pro of these seats are scene points. So anytime you're at a meet and you have bucket seats, it adds about 10 horsepower to your car. And that's probably the biggest pro of these seats. So now we've gone over the pros and cons. We've gone over the functionality. Let's talk about comfort over a long-term haul. So I recently went on a trip, like I said, a 5.5 hour trip straight in this car with, I think it was just one stop. So very limited stops in these seats. So my overall review of these seats on a long-term haul is that they're actually very, very comfortable. I actually really like them. The bolstering and everything, yes, it did kind of bother me when I wanted to shift my legs, but it didn't bother me as much as I thought they would. The feeling of being hugged the whole time actually felt really nice. You just kind of felt like you're just plopped in, you're nestled in, you're going for a long drive, and you're just there. And it feels so nice to be able to be hugged by the bolstering that it's actually probably my preferred seat on a long-term haul versus regular seats. So my regular seats in my CLA 45 actually hurt a lot more than these bucket seats do. So to put that in perspective, like, yes, the bucket seats are actually more comfortable than a regular seat in a car. So yes, I know the CLA 45 is different from the M3 and M4 comfort seats, but they're kind of the same, you know, concept. You don't have any hugging, you don't have any bolstering. You kind of have a little bit of adjustments. You just kind of sit on like on a cushion basically. And I think these seats are way more comfortable on a long-term haul. So if you're thinking about buying a car and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go on like a 5 hour, 6 hour, 7 hour drive, and I'm not sure about the carbon bucket seats, let me tell you, from my perspective, they are comfortable, they work really well on a long-term haul, and I don't mind them at all. Other than that little back problem that I told you about as a con, other than that, they're actually super comfortable. And once you adjust the settings, you kind of nestle in and you feel just right. Now, my girlfriend, who was also on the trip with me, also said the same thing. She said those are the most comfortable seats she's ever been in. She's also fallen asleep many times in this car, in these seats, and she said, yeah, it feels so nice to be comforted and hugged by the seats. I fall asleep like right away. And also I'm really good at driving. The fact that carbon bucket seats can, one, put people to sleep, and two, are comfortable enough on long-term haul amazes me. And it just shows how good these seats really are. All right guys, now that we've gone over everything we wanted to on the carbon fiber bucket seats in this car, let's answer the questions you guys have been waiting to get answers for. And that is, one, are the seats worth the $3,900 over the comfort seats? And two, should you get a car or order a brand new car with these seats? And based on everything we talked about in this video, my experiences driving this car for a few thousand miles as a daily driver with these seats, I can safely say yes, these seats are worth the extra $3,900. And yes, if you're looking to buy or order a brand new M3 and M4, you should definitely get one with the carbon fiber seats, because let me tell you, I think you're gonna regret getting the comfort seats over these seats. They're just so special. They make the car even more special, and it's just a different experience when you have the carbon seats versus the regular seats. And don't get me wrong, if your spec goes for like more luxury, more comfort, definitely go with those, and definitely look at the pros and cons I've listed based on my own experience with these seats, so you kind of get an idea of what it's like to drive and own a car with the seats. I think it's worth it. You know, it's just a different experience, like I said. And I definitely think it's gonna increase the resale value of this car because it has these seats. So it's a good investment. You feel cooler when you're driving the car. What's not to like? I definitely think the carbon fiber bucket seats are worth the extra money. That wraps it up for today's video. I wanted to go over my experience of owning this car with the carbon seats and give you guys an idea of whether or not you should get a car with these seats, if they're better, if they're more comfortable. Thanks again for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, because there's a lot more videos on this car and other cars coming very soon. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.